Down. Turn it off.
I know.
Got
I
some
just
important people in here.
No.
Oh, let's turn it on mute.
Be having a deep conversation.
All right. That's why I keep it in my headphones, so it's like if it's ringing, it's a little trick.
Hey,
how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Welcome to AS1ONE, Wendy.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate to be here. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna let Wendy introduce herself, and then we'll get right into it. I think. She's an amazing person. Just met her, but I'm excited to know about her. Smith had all these great things to say about you, and it's just like, wow.
Smith's the guy. Well, thanks for having me. My name is Wendy Crump. I'm with Cutler Real Estate, and I've been invited on the show to talk about real estate. So, a couple different platforms. I'm an actual licensed real estate agent, but I also invest. I own 3 duplexes in Bronzeville. Yeah. Are you familiar with Bronzeville?
Oh, very familiar. I actually got a chance to interview Mayor Brown.
Oh, Commissioner Brown. Yeah. Awesome.
So he was a pleasure. And then we also sat in the Henderson house.
Oh.
Because he's on that committee, and we did some recording. Got a chance to meet the family.
Awesome.
So yeah. So we've been. I'm familiar with that area. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So you are real estate. Real estate. Well, let me give you my background. That's actually great that you're in real estate because I just finished my classes.
Oh, cool.
Finished my classes a couple months ago.
A couple months ago. Did you take the test?
I took the test.
Okay.
And I passed one part of the test.
Okay.
So I'm studying again.
Okay.
For the rest of it.
Okay.
The national, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the local.
Passed the state.
Yeah, I passed the state. But yeah, so what school did you go to? I feel like it's a good start. Like, what school did you study for real estate? I went to Hondros.
I went to Hondros too.
Hondros?
Yeah.
Shout out to Hondros.
I know, right? I did well, this is before COVID because I got it. Technically, my official license, I went in September or October. And I went 6 weeks, or is it 3 weeks? I think it's 3 weeks. Went straight through and then took my test a couple weeks after that. And so I'm officially licensed December 24th of 2018.
2018. So, you took the test. Now I know it's a little difficult when you're a real estate agent, when you're an agent, to be an investor also.
Yeah.
So,
not really.
How was that? Like, how is it being an agent as far as having interest in the what they call it, the principal? Yeah, we go, man. You know, having interest in the principal. How's that? Yeah, how's that?
Well, you can be an agent and invest. I mean, anyone can be an investor. Oh, there's that phone.
There's the phone. We just talked about
We
it.
did just talk about that.
Let me turn it off.
It's all
My
good.
headphones are a little loud.
Oh, that was on your headphone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So what we're going to do is take this time, go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, and hit that comment, man. Let me know.
But yeah, no, you can be an investor and a real estate agent. They make it seem like it's so hard and difficult and all the other, but it's not at all. And before I was a real estate agent, I was a mortgage loan originator. So I was getting people approved for the loans and getting them qualified. That's actually where because everyone in real estate agents have specialties. Like some people know how to interior decorate, interior design, not my specialty, can't do it. Some people like to do first time home buyers, things like that. I specialize in getting people approved.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a client and she had a very distinct name. She knows who she is. If she were to see this, she was like, she's talking about me. But she had a very distinct name. And because, a lot of times now when we're dealing with mortgage, like origination, loans, it's over the phone. You don't go into the bank any longer and have your personal banker that you sit down with, they know you. It's all done over the phone. And we were going to go out of contract. They told her she didn't qualify and told her she had to bring $50,000 more dollars to the closing table than she had to. And she was doing her best. She went to her family. She did all these things. I'm like, whoa.
What loan was this?
It was an FHA loan.
FHA?
FHA loan.
Conventional?
No, FHA and conventional are two different. Yeah. So FHA is the government loan, and that's the one where you can do like 3.5% down. Okay. Their mortgage insurance is a little bit different. But they were saying basically that the county limits were up to this amount. And the loan she was going for, the house, I think was like $385,000. So they were saying she can only get approved for like $330,000, and it's like, it's an FHA loan. She can get approved
for the
entire amount. Yeah. She just has to bring the 3.5%. But normally, you know, even with credit, just because someone denies you does not mean you're denied. Like that's when it's actually a good thing when they tell you no, because you're like, okay, you need to know why they denied you. A lot of people wait. Oh, I get my credit up, I gotta do this. They'll wait a whole year just to apply and then get denied and then feel like it's like too tough to get a loan. When they deny you though, you need to know why they're denying you and then work from there and getting approved. So
how do you, okay, you apply for a loan, you get denied. What's the process? Like, how do you go about, because I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, let's kind of streamline it a little bit. Like, what do they need to do? How do you start there?
So an example is if someone says, okay, you don't make enough money.
Okay.
So you apply for a house for $350,000 and they tell you, oh, we can't approve this for you. It's a no. People be like, oh, okay. A couple things happen. Well, okay, you have to ask the questions. You have to know the questions to ask. So like they go off of a matrix, and a matrix is like A plus B equals C. Okay. So it's like, okay, well, what's A? And they're like, you know what I mean? Oh, because every company's different. One company might approve up to 50% of your debt to income, meaning you can only have, when your paycheck comes, you can only have 50% going out in bills. If you have anything more, they'll deny you. Some people will say, okay, like a Chase or a big bank, Huntington, they're a little bit more stringent, so they might only go up to like 35% of like your debt to income. Okay. So they might tell you no, but that credit union might tell you yes.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so debt to income, or they might say, you don't qualify for $350,000. Then you call back and you say, okay, well, what do I qualify for? Because I mean, if they tell you $250, that's still a win. Yeah. You know, so it's things like that like you just have to kind of know what to ask. And if you don't, you need a really good loan officer, because there are a lot of bad loan officers out here in the world.
I can imagine.
Like, because they're
setting people up, right? That's what happened with the whole 08 crash, right? Loan officers approving everything, and then the market ended up crashing. Banks wasn't supporting.
Well, yeah, they were approving everything, but people were taking advantage. That's not a bad loan officer. I was just loan officer getting paid. I was the loan officer getting paid. No. I don't mean bad in that sense. Okay. I mean bad in the sense they don't know their job. So like, they're telling you no, but they don't even, their job is to go back to the underwriter and be like, what about this? What about this? What about this? The underwriter is not the end all be all. I mean, they have to sign off on it, but it's your job as a loan officer to be able to help the person get approved. So that's why, like, a lot of times they say people gatekeep, like you're denied, you know, and it is simple. Like, your name might be a certain way, and it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, you have a bad credit score, and a lot of people they silently walk away and be like, oh, my credit score is bad. And that's not the case. Like, there are other programs that they can help out with. It's the loan officer's job to be able to dig deep and know their products too.
And sell you, be able to help you along the way and stuff like that, guidance. I thought, that's definitely important. When I was getting my house, I feel like I went with Right Pat.
Oh, I love Right Pat.
Yeah.
I used to work for Right Pat.
Oh, yeah? Was that, you was the loan officer for them? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So I went with Right Pat, and they did me pretty well. Like, pretty much what you're saying. I think we got approved. It was pretty cool, but we actually bought our house right before COVID.
Oh wow! Okay.
And
perfect.
And I was like, I love my house, but then when I saw the difference in what I was like, I'm not in love with this house. Let's sell it.
No. So you sold it?
I didn't. I still have it. I wanted to. My wife is like, no, we're not selling it. But it's like, people live in their house 20 years before they see the type of equity that I see in my house buying in 2018. It's crazy.
Well, here's the thing though, but then the double-edged sword is you sell your house.
Yeah, I know. And
then what are you gonna buy? Because everything done went up.
But see, the thing was, and that's right, and I considered that, right? But I also was thinking, I could cash money. Yeah. You know?
That's true.
And I could just do another loan.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
I probably would have, like, if that were me, I probably would have sold my house, got the equity, the extra money out, and then bought, like, a rehab property. So
something I could use, right? That's what I was thinking, because it's like, what chance in life do you have? I feel like it's very little chances for a young person like myself Dad, this one, I bought my house at what, 190?
Yeah.
It's worth about 320.
I know, it's crazy.
It's
I
crazy.
know. It's only, and it's not going down.
It's not.
Yeah.
Right now it's kind of steady.
Yeah.
I think I was like I always used to look at it. I was like, oh man, okay, I got some money now.
Yeah.
So I was like Googling it every
Yeah.
chance I got. But it was like, it went, I think it went as high as 340. Now I'm like 310. I'm like,
You know what you should do though?
What?
Because you have equity now, you should refinance and get out of that mortgage insurance.
you know what?
Because I know you're paying mortgage insurance right now.
I am.
Yeah.
But refinancing, don't I start over? Let's talk about refinancing because I thought about it, but I don't like the idea of having to start over.
Well, okay. So the thing about numbers, which I love about numbers, is that you got to make the numbers work for you.
Okay.
So what happens is, I'll give you a prime example. Let's just say you're paying $1,000, right?
Okay.
You had a 30-year loan. You're in it, what, 5 years? 5 years now?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you got 25 years left, correct?
Correct.
All right, well, let's say you knock off $150 that you're paying towards mortgage insurance. It's not going towards equity at all. It's just going
Towards mortgage insurance.
just towards just in case.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So now that is so now you refinance. Let's say you go back to 30 years, but you continue to make that $1,000 payment. You've now taken a 30-year mortgage because now you're technically paying more on the mortgage.
Because of that $100 less.
The $150 less is now being applied directly to your equity.
Okay.
So now you've taken that 30-year loan, and just by paying the same payment, it's taken it down from 30 years to 23 years. So you're now ahead of where you would have been if you would have kept paying, because all mortgages, you pay more interest in the beginning of the loan. So you'd be taking it down. You'd be paying that mortgage off way faster if you kept the same mortgage payment. Now, what people do is, especially if you're older, like you're on fixed income, you don't care if that mortgage is 30 years. It ain't gonna get paid off anyways. You're not here to pay it off.
I know, right?
So but you just want that lower monthly payment because you're on fixed income. So it makes sense to do it like that. It's just it's making the numbers work for you. But because you are younger, you have the ability to actually pay ahead. But when you refinance and you have that lower payment, you also have the ability to fall back on that lower payment if you were to lose your job, or your wife gets pregnant, you can't work, and she was like, I want to stay home, and there's less income coming in. You guys can fall back on that lower payment. But it will probably be smarter to go ahead and refinance that.
But now looking at the interest rate, right? Would it be smarter?
I know, the interest rates is crazy. Well, here's the thing. Interest rates are tricky too, because just because, let's say your interest rate is 3.5%, because you're paying that mortgage insurance, the true interest rate is probably like 5.5. They don't calculate that into it. So when you do get, like, let's just say you refinance and you get a 6% interest rate, because you have that payment being dropped off and is now going straight to your mortgage.
It's a true 6% payment.
Yeah, it's a true 6% payment, and it's a 6% payment on a lower loan amount. So and on top of that, if you have
You teaching me, right? She talking, y'all. She is talking. I hope y'all listening. Hey, this is great because young people, I just want to let y'all know, man, it's not hard to own a property. I'm 34 and I own my property now for 5 years, and it really wasn't hard. It's like it takes a little bit of just being on your stuff. If you're on your stuff, like she's saying, knowing what you're supposed to do, being resilient, not taking that no for an answer. See why. This is something I'm learning now. I never even considered, like, it's a lot of time when somebody tells you no, what they say, everybody say they. When they tell you no, whoever they are.
The days, whoever. You're right. Whoever they are.
We're going to speak African American English, whoever they is. Whoever they is.
Right.
But, it's just, just take a little bit of time and invest in yourself and be able to move ahead. And some of these things she's telling me, I'm looking at refinancing as a bad thing because I don't want to start over.
Right.
But you just made me understand I could drop a bill and be ahead. So these are all the things that I think is really important to highlight, especially on forums like this, because I think young people are afraid of it. And I actually want to share a story with you, right? My mom, I'm Liberian, I'm West African, and my mom always say this. Growing up, it was a big old competition. Who's gonna have a house? And so for us, it was like, having a house was like an old people thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what it was. Like,
I know, right?
It was like.
Which is wild to me.
Right?
Yeah.
So then I always looked at it as like, oh, you got to be a certain age to own a house. And it wasn't until, you know, I kind of got into being myself and realized, like, you know, it's not an old people thing. It's really somebody who wants, it's a progressive thing. If you want to be progressive in life. And so I want to encourage, you know, young people, get your stuff together, own some of these property. America is for sale.
You ain't lying about that. And on top of that, think of it like this. Like, you got to live somewhere.
That's true.
And people are scared to have, like, I'm talking to Smith, like, I like Smith's way of thinking, because he's like, listen, I'm trying to own a duplex, I'm trying to have move somebody else in, because even with the duplexes, like, so I purposely bought duplexes with that very intention. Like, if I go in, if I stay on one side and have someone pay the other side, they'll basically be helping me with my mortgage. It ended up working out though, because rent's so high now.
Yeah.
It actually made more sense for me to move tenants in both sides because I was going to get more money, and now my rent is paid through
both of them.
Both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, numbers are a tricky thing. I was going to say another thing too. Yeah. Since it's good that you kept your house.
Okay.
Yeah, it is good that you kept your house, because the other option you do have as well is, let's say you do refinance, you get let's say you get down that $150 payment, right?
Yeah.
And you could take a home equity line of credit out because you have the equity. So you could take a $50,000 loan, you know, line of credit out. Actually, shoot, at this point, you bought it for $190, so your loan probably was $185 or something like that.
It was $190, probably $180, because I had to pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like tremendously down now. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So off of a $300,000, like let's say if it comes back at $300,000, then yeah, you can go up to probably, like, some home equities let you go up to like 90% of the appraised value. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So if it's $300,000, you can probably go up to like $280. So you can get a $100,000 line of credit out, and you could take that money and buy another house.
You're gonna buy another studio.
And buy another studio. But it gotta be income producing though. You gotta have something to pay that note for you.
Sure.
But
no, that's crazy though, because there's so many ways we could play it, and I'm like, I just tell my wife, I'm like, we're so young, and like, people live in their house 20 years before they see this amount of equity. This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I really wanted to sell, but like you said, I'm glad we kept it. I'm probably, honestly, moving along the line, I might just put it up for rent. Okay. And then get another property. Probably what I'll do, because again, I'll be an agent soon. Okay. Yeah. And then maybe I start investing myself.
Well, even if you do the like I said, if you do the home equity, like, you got to remember, when you get that money, that $100,000, because it's in a loan, it's tax free. So you don't have to pay tax on anything. It's just straight $100,000 that's going to be in your account. And if you rent it out, you would want to rent it out to where, because remember, you saved $150 on the mortgage now, so you can apply that to the payment for the line of credit, or whoever you have move in. Just make sure you add your bills up to where they're covering everything, your actual bill, and you have $100,000 to work with. There's so many options when you own.
You gotta make the numbers work for you.
Yeah, you gotta make the numbers work for you.
I like that. This is a numbers girl.
It is.
What made you into numbers? How did you like numbers?
I mean, the universe is based off of numbers, right? Astrological signs are based off of numbers. Like, everything is based off. Coding is based off of numbers. Everything's based off of numbers. The numbers gotta make sense at the end of the day, because it's a language. It's a true language that no matter what language you speak, the numbers never lie.
Awesome. So, okay, we want to talk to some of, potential customers. What would you like to say? Where can they find you?
I know, right?
So, that good stuff.
So this is why Smith invited me, because 100% of my business has been word of mouth. I've never advertised. I've never even done like a social media. Actually, I did do a social media thing, like, where I went on my personal social media and was like, hi, I'm doing real estate, and that was it. And I was like, oh, this is so corny. But my Instagram handle is at @WhereIsWendy, and that's WENDI. So
follow her right now. Where is Wendy? WENDI.
Where is Wendy?
Where is Wendy?
It's like, where is Waldo? I'm like the world traveler. I love to go everywhere.
I love that.
But yeah, I'm more of like, I gotta know you, not know you, but like, I'm not like a, click on this dancing bear and you click on it and it's someone that calls you, cold calls you, stuff like that. Like, I like.
It's just personal.
Yeah.
It's personal. It's like a lot of, and I think those are the best sales, and sometimes you chase leads. You just end up just chasing blind, like leads just get you in the alley, just nowhere. Right? So you really have to focus and narrow down.
Well, that's the thing too, though, with business, though, because like, so even at Where is Wendy, you know what I'm saying? That's my personal page. It's not like a business page. I don't have it set up to be like business. I think we've gotten to the point now. Everything has become online. So I'm 41, so I'm a little older, and there was a time.
I thought you was 21.
Shut up. Like, stop it. Tell me again. No, stop.
Come on, guys. Y'all know she's 21. Look at her.
But yeah, no, everything's online now, so it's like you got to have an online presence for people to trust you.
Yeah.
But my LinkedIn still says I'm a mortgage loan originator. I don't even have a real estate agent. I'm like, geez, what am I doing?
So after this, we're gonna update, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. This is the loading right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna update after this. That's right. So it's loading
That's so
right
true.
now.
Right.
Yeah. So make sure you guys are tapping in with Wendy. She's here to help you guys. As you could tell, she's very informational. One thing that she said that you could trust her. And that made me know I could trust her. Well, she said that you have to know your job.
Exactly.
You have to know your job.
That's it.
And to me, she seems like she knows her job. So with somebody who's knowing their job, willing to help you, please reach out to her. If you guys have any trouble reaching out to her, go ahead and email us. On the email probably right here, and we'll get you in contact with her, and she'll be able to help you. You're looking for an agent, looking at some homes, maybe
or selling if you want to sell.
Whatever you want to do, but this is what AS1ONE is about. The segment we're about to get into right now. I'm going to ask Miss Wendy here, what's her mud? So she could tell us a little bit about her mud. So I'm going to tell you about my mud, right? Okay. So we have a series that we do. It's called What's Your Mud? Okay. And they just kind of want to know your story, from wherever you want to start. Just tell us. For me, my family fled from the war in Africa, Liberia to be exact. Came over here. Lived on Elaine Road. Are you from Columbus?
Oh yeah, Elaine. Wow.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You was on the spot.
I was in there. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Elaine Road, man. We made it out.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Went to Elaine. Then went to school in Akron. They know my mud.
Okay. Well,
I tell my mud every time.
What
does
mud stand for?
Mud is like just what's your what's the soil, like where the soil you come from? Just what's your mud, like what's your story?
Gotcha.
Where did you, the reason where this originate from, it's like I remember my coach always tell me like, keep your foot in the mud, keep your foot moving, you don't want to slip, because I play football, when you trying to move and you don't keep your foot moving in the mud. But it's just like, what's your story, where you come from, what motivates you? Why do you do what you do? Like the mud, the
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, the earth, the soil, where you come from.
The dirt, like all under your nails,
Well, mine's is, so I was born and raised in Maryland, the D.C. area, not Baltimore. I don't know why everybody says Baltimore, but anyways, born and raised in Maryland. Went to Bolivia when I was 11.
Bolivia
for 3 months, and then I went back. So I came back here. My dad's from here. All my dad's family's from here. So I came back here. I went to Linmore Middle School. Met all my best friends here at Lyndon McKinley High School.
Lyndon McKinley. That's North Side, right?
Mm-hmm. North Side.
North Side. Shout out to the North Side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shout out to the North Side.
Okay.
Went to Lyndon McKinley. Left, went back to DC, did foreign exchange in Venezuela. So my senior year, I was in South America for a whole year.
Wow.
Then I came back, went to Clark Atlanta University, went to HBCU. Shout out Clark. And I only did a year though. I was like, the college thing, I was like, man, I don't know, this ain't, because I got a scholarship, but then I lost the scholarship because I got a C in the class. Mm-hmm. So I was like, screw that. Came back to Columbus, ended up being an on-air personality with 107.5.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Who was you on air with?
Well, I was by myself. I was a midday girl, so I came on after Paul Strong in the morning show.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was on after them, and then I got promoted and did the morning show in St. Louis. So I moved to St. Louis, and then from St. Louis moved out to California. But radio was like tricky because radio was kind of like I was in that era where, because I got on probably like 2000. I got on 2002 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And
With the radio.
Yeah, okay. And then I was on all the way up until like 2008. The crash happened. Yeah. But I moved out to California. At that point, I was living in California, and it was expensive.
I was about to say, you moved to California in 2008?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're brave.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, the world was falling apart. But you know, when you're not really like I was broke. You know what I'm saying? Broke people don't be feeling the effects.
That's true, though.
Of poverty. Like, we already can't afford that, right? You know what I'm saying? So it was different. It was different.
Hey, she said broke people can. Hey, it can affect you if you what they say, if you ain't got it.
You ain't got it. I mean, you used to cutting corners. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though this time around it's a little different because like the price of everything's gone up. Like the price of an apple done gone up. You open up chips, it's a 1 chip in the bag now. You're like, wait a minute, all this stuff is changing. Like
smaller bag, bigger prices.
Yeah.
It's like
even the iced teas, you didn't notice, but the iced teas went from like 18 ounces down to like 14 ounces.
I never know.
Same bottle,
yeah.
But they have like a thing in the bottom of it.
Bottom where push it up,
yeah,
right?
It's like the trickery.
It's just
that's
like, true though.
Meat's
true.
fake. I'm like, so much going on in the world right now. But anyways, yeah. So moved up to California. Left California.
Hold on, where in California were you?
So I lived in San Francisco initially, and then I moved down to LA.
So you went to LA?
I'm not an LA girl, but I got hired on at the LA radio station. Mm-hmm. It was not my style. This was like, it was like, you know, people would say to you like, oh yeah, you look nice, you should get a boob job. Like, what? Like, what? Can you say that?
But it's LA though, right?
It's LA.
It's free.
They were like, no big deal. So I was like, yeah, this wasn't my scene. So I ended up moving to Dallas for a little bit. Met a guy. We left Dallas, went to New York. And
you're not playing. You hear this?
Oh yeah, I was
Listen,
out here
experience.
You hear me?
What she said? She said, "I'm the human Wardo." She wasn't lying.
I'm sorry. I was everywhere. But I finally got into finances though during the crash. I was working at a bank. It was the saddest thing ever because you were seeing like elderly folks. I'm talking about 80-year-olds walking into the bank saying, "Where's my money?" And I'm looking at their accounts and all of their retirement was wiped out with the crash. Because, you know, it went from pensions were like secure, like no matter what, you would always get a pension. Well, pensions turned into now your retirement goes into a 401k. Mm-hmm. And the 401k is based off the market. So there's 3 things that run the economy. It's the stock market, mortgages, and insurance. And so when that crash happened, it was just gone.
And then I can imagine, I know people were probably taking risk.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of those investments may be crumbled.
Yeah. No, they were gone. People were wiped out. But can you imagine being 80 though?
I know.
You know what I mean?
But you're almost out of here though. So like.
Yeah, but you ain't trying to go out here struggling. Like, geez, like, I
mean, how could somebody gonna take care of you?
Listen,
I'm 80. Somebody gonna take care of you.
I'm trying to be a vibrant 80-year-old. Okay,
I know, right?
I'm trying to be them blue zone like Centurion type people. Like, I just met a guy yesterday. I was at the athletic club. He was 90.
No way.
He was 90. Moving. I'm talking about flirting and everything. He was like, hey, gorgeous. I was like, but listen.
I'm mad at you.
He still had it though. He still had it. He was talking. He was getting up, going around, doing his thing. I mean, we living longer now. Hopefully we're taking care of our bodies, right? We're gonna live longer. But anyway, so that's basically my mud. I didn't been all over the place.
Man, that's a good mud. You know, my mud is stable.
Yeah, right. Hey, slow and steady. That's all. That's
your mud moving. You know, you got waves.
Right.
Change the weather. You got
New York. Sand.
I want to ask you about every single one of the places, but I know we don't have time.
That's all
but I really want to just, like, I feel like you being in New York, you probably had a hell of an experience. I can imagine. Being in San Francisco, I've been to San Francisco, and that place itself, it's like you gotta have some talent. I know there's a hidden talent you're not telling me, because you're in all these places. There's some talent that like somebody like me can't move like that. Like you moved to San Francisco for a reason, because that state, it don't sleep. You know, you got the Golden Gate under there where they do all those things. You know, and then you say you move to LA again, it's another beautiful city. When I was in LA, man, it was like everybody I walked up to had a talent. And it was just like start singing, and I'm like, you're better than everybody I know in Ohio. Like your voice is like, why haven't you made it yet?
Nigga, bus stop.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are literally better than everybody I know in Ohio. And it's just be like, but just to close it up, man. And then you said, where did you live for 3 months?
Dallas.
No, it was like Belize.
Oh, Bolivia.
What was that like? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Bolivia.
Well, I was 11.
11. Oh,
and it was, you know, it was weird because like I never faced like, I don't know, colorism, I guess. They have colorism down there.
Really?
Like they kept calling me, like the first word they kept saying was, hola negra, negra. And I was like, negra? I was like, that's a bad word, bro. I call negra.
They kept calling me that.
Yeah, I was like, can we use another? And I said, why? I asked, why do you keep calling me negra? They was like, no, it's a term of endearment. They was like, because they kept saying, you're oscura, and saying, you know, you're so dark. And I was like, have you seen my daddy though? Like,
I know, right?
That's dark. I was like, so they considered my skin dark, and I was like,
imagine somebody like me, they're like midnight.
I just
like midnight.
It was a little backwards for me. I was like, so if I'm dark, what is your consideration of like?
I start getting about 6 o'clock p.m. type of dark.
Here's the thing.
About midnight.
I'm a dark skin, light skin. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dark skin, light skin. That's what I say. But no, it threw me off though. I was like, this was a little weird because you got to remember, like, Spain, France, and Europe has conquered the world.
True.
The world.
True.
And they're all like of white skin tone. So it kind of opened me up to history and race and culture and understanding, like, how do we even get to this place where you're calling me dark? Like, this is, why are we even here?
Right?
Yeah.
You know, that's funny you said that, right? Because I was in Jamaica, and I'm literally on what was it, excursion, and the lady on the excursion is telling me about Christopher Columbus.
Oh no!
And all these people, and I'm going like, I don't want to hear this right now.
No.
I'm on vacation in Jamaica. I don't want to hear about Christopher Columbus. You know, like, no.
We knowing. Come on now, everybody know the truth. Now, how you still spreading the lie? How you still spreading the lie?
And you in Jamaica telling me this? I had to stop her. But
good for you.
Yeah, I just tell her.
Good for you.
I'm in Jamaica. Yeah, but yeah, it was lit. One other thing we want to do is speak to the youth all the time. You know, we just want to say what some encouraging words you may have for the youth, some empowerment, just, you know, giving them some encouragement. What do you want to say to the younger people?
I always encourage the youth. I mean, if we want to keep in the real estate realm, I will absolutely say, if you don't buy, you know, everybody's business owners nowadays. So if you're going to sell on YouTube, be an influencer, just make sure you own your space, whatever that may be. And when I mean own it, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a scary thing to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy, I don't know, something small and just create your own. Because, you know, when you rent, you gotta, it's kind of like having an apartment. You can make it look nice, but then you got to take everything down. You don't really, it's not yours. So you can't put holes in, you know, when you own something, it's fully yours. It's like you could tear a wall down. You could, you know, build something. You could DIY something, you know, whatever the case may be. I just say, I encourage, just own your own space, own your own.
That's it, man. Own your own space. Get out here, again, like she said, get information. If you do apply for a loan, I think that was a really important point in here in this conversation. Don't take no for an answer. I think what she said was very powerful. If you are going, if they tell you no, ask why. You know, try to get to the nitty gritty. Try to see what it is you could do, what follow up you could do, because it might not be like something major, right? It might just be a small ding. might be $100 that you forgot to pay in insurance when you was a teenager.
Yeah.
And then now it's hurting you as a young adult, right? So something simple like that, you know. And download the credit app.
Yeah.
What's that?
Credit
Credit Karma.
Yeah.
Download the Credit Karma app. Now it's not. I don't think it's 100% accurate, but it kind of gives you.
It alerts you though. If
yeah.
somebody like pulls your credit though.
Yep.
You're like,
It
whoa,
lets
I
you
didn't say
know,
that.
So, last thing I want to kind of close up, man. I just want to kind of say I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have your hashtag. We're gonna be following you. They're gonna be commenting. A lot of young people. They're gonna get this video to 1 million. We're on this thing called $1 million run.
Okay.
This is $1 million run right now.
Okay.
Every interview we do, everything we put out here, we're trying to get 1 million views because we need sponsors. Okay.
All right.
So
yes. Get that.
let us know when this get to 1 million. You know, I'm sure she'll have some for you. I'm sure we'll have some for you. And guess what? I'm sure you have something for yourself, something to call your own, just to kind of bring it home and stay in that real estate field. Something to call your own, something to call home. And again, I personally want to say, if you own your own stuff, that might help with all the like negative things that's happening. You know, I know people take pride in stuff when they own it. You know, so let's
That's
own.
true.
And you know, I feel like some of these things is just it's indirect because we don't own nothing, so we don't care. So we just fin blowing with whatever we're doing. We're doing whatever we need to do, and it's just like, let's get back to caring. Let's get back to, you know, protecting. Let's get back to investing. And it's all powerful. It's all good things. I want to thank Wendy for coming today, and I'm gonna let her do a run again on where you can find her at, and whatever else you want to talk about. Any shout outs, you know.
I mean, I said pretty much Instagram. I got locked out of my Facebook. We already talked about this.
Okay.
We're in tune-up mode, but
We're loading.
Where is Wendy? WENDI. Just make sure you check me out. Hit me up. It's my personal page, but you know what I'm saying, we're all gonna be friends here, and we're gonna make money together.
And we're gonna make money together. And shout out to her creating opportunities for people in homes and stuff. Actually, I forgot to. What is it like being a landlord?
Ooh, interesting. It's very interesting. I'm a cool landlord.
Oh, you're a cool landlord?
I'm a cool landlord.
So I can go five days past?
I'm not that cool.
Okay.
I'm not.
I can go 5 days
cool.
past? Okay.
No, you will get charged a late fee. But I'm actually a great. You hear horror stories. I like making money, so I make it my business to make sure that everything goes smooth. So yeah, no, all is well. Like I like being a landlord.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wendy.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
And thanks Smith too. Smith's the guy.
Shout out to Smith, man. This won't be possible without Smith. Go ahead and share, comment, like, subscribe, hit that button, and get us to 1 million. Okay, $1 million run. We out of here.